This episode was made possible by Leatt, Insta360 and Kameraz.
So this is what 3% chance of showers looked like. 4 o'clock in the morning. We're on our next adventure. Yes, heading towards the kingdom. First, quickly have to go and work this morning on a Friday. A little bit of rain never stopped anyone, eh?
Have fun.
Love you. Bye.
Like most other adventure riders, I can only support my addiction by doing manual labor, by the sweat of my brow.
Morning.
Môre, môre.
Lekker en jy?
Dankie.
Bietjie nat, maar alright.
Goeienaand.
Hallo julle.
Every weekday morning, I get rid of the manly riding gear, don a pretty blouse, and brazenly stride out in front of the scrutinizing crystal eye of the camera and bright lights. I turned TV presenter for a 2-hour live breakfast talk show. Now, as a rule, I struggle with focus and attention span, and this morning, it's even worse. All I can think of is the open road calling my name.
Dad. Hey, this is real TV.
That's done. We are finished. Now, back into my gear and off. Through peak hour traffic to meet my buddies.
Right, it's nice to see that the weather has cleared up. It's going to be a lekker ride. Lovely weather, slightly overcast, little humid, but that's okay. Right. Off to our meeting point, our rendezvous spot.
My good buddy Fani won't be able to join me on this trip due to commitments at work, but I have some great stand-in support for this ride. On this adventure, I'm joined by the guys who introduced me to adventure riding many, many years ago. The originals, and a bunch of old toppies by now, but if I've learned one thing in my years of adventure travel, it is to never underestimate old toppies that know how to ride bikes. For this long weekend social ride, we're heading to the Kingdom of Eswatini. Marinus is the only new member to the group for this week. Invited by one of the regular brothers, he confirmed and bought his 790 especially for the trip in the week leading up to the ride. The usual suspects were gathering, excited and ready for 4 days of fun. Apart from France and Adrian, my good buddy Piet offered his truck as backup and himself as transport coordinator and beverage and entertainment manager.
My maat, my vriend.
Het jy nog gewerk?
Ja, ik kon voor die werk af. Hey, hoe gelijk je dingen?
Gewerk met
Oh guys.
Nie een keer om op die fiets nou.
Hey, hoe lijkt je dingen?
Lekker met jou.
Lekker my maat,
Welkom,
lekker.
welkom.
My maat, ik ga er met jou. Lekker man, lekker.
The guys started loading the duffel bags into the truck as we waited for everyone to arrive. That gave us the opportunity to quickly install some extra comp sets and a couple of helmets and mount cameras on different members of the group.
Okay, so here we are. Everyone's together. Everything's sorted. The maps, the GPSs, you know how it is. What about mine and what about this? So we sorted that out. Now they're complaining. It's hot, we need to go. So we're going.
For this trip, there'll be one truck with France and Piet transporting the luggage, food and drink, and camera gear, and a total of 8 bikes ridden by a wily bunch of diverse individuals with strong personalities, all of them still teenage boys at heart. Some of the riders you might know, like Adrian, aka GT, for obvious reasons. Then there's a lovely sedate soul called Hollywood. And Goose, because, well, he's a pilot. Marinus on his first ever trip, and Tiny. Boer, because he grows mountains of salad for vegans and people on diets. Bob the Builder, and Ninja. Today's planned route takes us along the highway for about 150 kilometers before we turn off onto rural roads and gravel towards the border post of Mlilwane. From here, we'll enter into Eswatini and head to our overnight spot. After about 2.5 hours of blacktop, we eventually hit the dirt.
Julle klomp goudvissies, wil julle ry? Ja.
It's not uncommon to see Adrian stop at a water crossing to film other riders. But for those of us who really know the man's sadistic nature, it's a clear sign that something unexpected is hiding in the placid water.
Kom nou man.
Tiny hits a couple of unremarkable ruts that would have huge implications a couple of kilometers later, when his bike just cuts out.
Anders is 'n baie stukkend.
'n Baie uitgesny. Dis hierdie electronics obviously nou. Kan ons uitklaar. Dis 'n probleem.
Maar ek het jou deurgesit.
Ek weet nie, ek het net gehoor ewe skielik klak. Ja, my sakkie is missing. Nee, jou? My hele KTM sakkie.
Ek het bietjie gaan swem. Dis dalk eerste mal.
Nie gesien nie.
Nee, maar waar was hy? Hy was hier vas.
Hy was hier vas.
Hy sê daai ding.
Die rider was gelukkig.
Is dit nie hy wat afgegaan het toe trek hy hom onderin? Hy het dalk.
Maar daar's my tassie. Dankie, Chris.
Waar
Hy het die res van my met ons saamgevat.
Ek sien alleen nie wat op die pad. Kyk hoe meer KTM's is daar, ek kan meer kan breek.
So if this comes loose and it hits this and the blocks fall off, it's on this and that, and then it's a bit of a mess. And then park your bike and it's dead. What?
Part of the ECU.
ECU?
That makes a bike go brrrr.
This is the ECU, yeah. Oh, that's the part we're missing. The thing is, when a little tail pack on the luggage rack at the back of your bike comes loose and it flips backwards towards the rear wheel, and the rear wheel catches the bag and pulls it into the bike and it doesn't fall off, then you break the mud guard above the rear wheel. You basically crack that to pieces, and if your ECU is attached to that mud guard there, the top side of that mud, then eventually you lose your ECU, which is like it's a bit of a critical part of the bike. So and luckily for this trip we decided not to bring a trailer. And as you can see, we are in the bustling metropolis of and we're very close to a motorcycle dealer and repair shop.
Kijk, jy daar kan neer sit.
Maar net nie deurval nie. Wat is onder?
Ja, daar val nog 'n stuk more skerp. Kyk. Ja, hier is nog geen lekker werk nie.
Nee, daar is nie veel brekheid nie.
Ek sê maar as ons hom net hierdie fuse is hy nog aan iets vas.
Ja, jy moet al die drade met aan toe gaan.
Ja, jy gaan nog drade hier in. Ek kan hierdie stuk gaan ook nou uitkom. Right. Ek het my goed vasgemaak. Ek het al duisende kilos so druk en so. Probeer ons skop hom daar. Nee, hy gaan nie, ons het dit nou geprobeer. Gaan nie so oulik. Ja. Jy moet hom daar druk.
Die wit goed steek uit.
Die wit goed steek uit. Daar's hy. Daar's jou rede.
Sien die medic.
Daar's hy. Waar's hy? Ek het ook 'n goeie gevoel. Okay. Proof is in the pudding. As krag. Ons is in neutraal.
As dit 100 was, wil hy nog stukke.
Maar guy was 'n boer. Bietjie geforseer en toe.
Klip uit wit. Kop jy goed agter jou.
Daar's in. Net daarna.
Ek hoor jy oor die skok. Hoe moeilik haal jou side cover hierdie goed af?
Ek het nie 'n cooking class, 'n Allenkie. Ja.
Hulle gaan hierdie ding vervang. Ja, sny hier gat. As jy daai ding bo kan draai weer help nie vas. Dan as jy onder sit.
Qualified KTM mechanic. I mean, there's not much potential to the man, but at least he fixes an orange bike.
Wag, dis op jy met jou.
Daar's hy.
Fantasties.
Nou kan al die drade daar deur gaan. Hè?
Al nog draai.
Hier ons kyk jy nog verstaan het dat ons nou weg gaan.
Jy wil met hierdie ander drade.
Ons gaan hierdie vetes hier vasmaak. Daai ding is daar vas. Hierdie dingetjie het nie werk nie. Daai ding gaan toemaak. Hierdie gaan weg. Hierdie ding daktyp ons hier vas.
Daai gaan so. Nee, ons cable time en dan daktyp ons.
Ons wil die vetes gebruik hier.
So, after more than an hour's entertaining bush mechanics, homegrown ingenuity and common sense, we're back on the road to Eswatini. The time that we've lost needs to be made up, so we hightail it down the desolate tar road to the border post of Mlilwane. Yeah, double check this one carefully because that one's a skorobel. But on our arrival at the border, we find even more potential tour-ending damage to Ninja's Africa Twin.
I don't know what happened, but the radiator is leaking. It looks like a small stone heated in there. I cut this open because I want to get in there to try and plug the hole. There is a little hole.
Little hole.
And I took a Leatherman and I squashed the hole closed. I hope it's closed.
But you need Bradley steel.
Yes, we need that steel. And since our last trip at Zanin,
Yeah.
that we broke 2 sumps in one day, remember?
Yeah.
I always travel with Bradley steel.
Ah. With the epoxy stuck to the radiator, we push the bikes through customs and take a break on the Eswatini side, giving the putty some chance to cure properly.
We are now in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Yes, the only sovereign kingdom in Africa. In the entire Africa, on the continent, there are kingdoms in Africa, other kingdoms, but they are constitutional kingdoms. It's a constitutional monarchy. Eswatini, where we are now, is the only monarchy in Africa that is a sovereign, single, absolute ruler. The King of Eswatini. And we are in his country, so in effect in his garden. That's where I'm lying. In the king's garden. Because the whole of Swaziland belongs to the king. If you're not from Africa, come and visit. Please. The people, like for instance in Swaziland, the people here are beautiful. They are generous, they are kind, they are warm-hearted, friendly people. Come to Eswatini. You'll be blown away. Trust me on this one. And I'm going to quickly sleep for 5 minutes before we head off again.
And with the abundance of warm cow dung in Eswatini, the guys immediately start playing tricks on each other. Teenagers, every single one of them. The tarred roads in Eswatini is exactly what you'd expect from an African kingdom. Beautiful. Until, all of a sudden, it's not. So, expect nothing and be prepared for anything. We eventually managed to forge our way through the Friday afternoon traffic and reach our overnight stop. A tranquil oasis in a lush green landscape, paradise-like in the golden late afternoon light.
One thing about Swaziland that they don't tell you is the humidity. Holy moly. The sweat is dripping off us all. And we're not doing anything. We are in Mlilwane. Mlilwane. And what a lovely place. What a lovely place. Staying in these beehive huts.
They are great. And yeah, we are now at last at our first stop in Swaziland, our first night. So, lots of long roads, lots of challenging little things, but here we are. So now, a nice fire, and when we're finished with that, a proper braai, some refreshments, and then I'm going to sleep like someone hit me over the head. That's what I'm going to do.
Brilliant, Frans, brilliant.
Hallo. Hallo, vrouw.
Hy wil nie drink nie.
Cheers.
Hey, sweet love. Mlilwane, van Pretoria na Mlilwane het ek en jy dik stukke in daai bakkie gekuier. Was dit dan nie gewees die Frans? Ek dink so.
We wake the next morning as clouds cover the peak of nearby Execution Rock, where the rebels and sangomas that challenged the authority of the kings of old were forced to hurl themselves down the sheer cliffside. This morning, I almost have an idea of how that felt.
Early morning in the Mlilwane Nature Reserve Game Park. The team's still sleeping. There's two oaks awake, which is Frans and Piet fixing the vehicle. Because what happened last night, the rain came when we were having a braai, and all chaos broke loose. Everyone just chucked everything in the back of the vehicle. So they've been cleaning since before 6 this morning. They start emerging like ants from an anthill.
Everything just chucked into this bucket, and now we gotta create some form of order because there are how many 10 bags still need to fit into this little space, but we'll make it. Die sien is die gewees. Op maar net ingegooi.
Let's go and see if the rest of the guys are awake. Hey.
Dis die sterre van die oggend natuurlijk.
Kom is dan nog die sterre vanoggend.
Die ander sterre gaan ek weer wakker maak. Jy moet hulle sterre uit die bed.
Almal was sterre gestaan.
Hard riding red wine and whiskey.
After jump-starting all the cold diesel engines at camp, we join all the foreign tourists at the breakfast table, standing out like a boil on a warthog's butt. A quick pack up and gear up, and we're off on the first leg of the day. On leaving the park, we offer the foreign tourists yet another opportunity to photograph real horsepower in their natural environment. But they weren't the only one with their eye on us.
Stop sign, didn't stop. Like we have to stop there. Like come and pay 60.
Jy net stop, stop. Toevallig het iemand R100 in my sakkie gesit. Just fetching my license.
Your first name, I know this. Your first name?
Adrian.
Adrian.
Yeah.
I think. You're going to Maguga now?
Yeah. But we're going around the other way.
Oh, sorry.
Around the bush. Okay.
Sharp.
Cheers.
Sorry. No, drive safe.
Okay, thank you. Drive safely, sê vir my. R60 is nie te shabby nie. Suid-Afrika so R600 gekos.
The planned route for today first leads us past the Royal Palace walls and then heads out of town in a northeasterly direction, halfway towards the far border of Eswatini, before making a 90 degrees left turn towards the northwest, around the Nonyane protected area and through the plantation forests to our overnight stop at Maguga Dam. The first section carves through rural townships with lots of people and traffic going about their Saturday morning business.
First time to see it, first time hiking along it. Oh, beautiful.
Are you guys not from here?
Yeah, we from Manzini.
From Manzini?
Yeah, so hiking along the mountain, and then when we get to almost the end of this road, we're going to take up the mountain all the way to the other side of the mountain.
You want to lift?
No, we're okay.
You walk?
Yeah, we'll walk.
We'll cross if you want to, you can jump.
No, we're okay, we're good.
So, bro.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay, you've got enough water?
Yeah, I've got enough water, we're okay.
You've got peanuts, everything?
Everything sorted.
Take care.
Sure.
Sure.
It isn't long before we run out of road and are forced to take bush tracks through rivers and over hills. Some of the guys take on a precarious little wooden pedestrian bridge with a sharp incline on the other side of the river, while others scout downstream for a shallow crossing point.
Yes, please.
We make use of the shady riverbank for some relaxation and a drinks break.
Ek het 'n tel vir my besluit ons gaan van Kenia af ry Kaapstad toe. Ons wil 'n bietjie gaan kyk het hoe lyk die Ooskus. Hier Mozambique af van so.
Ja.
En dit vat ons 2 wave jumper jet skis, maak bootjies, sulke rubber bootjies soos 'n rubberdak, maar kleiner. Sit ons al ons petrol, ons tente, 2 barmene gehad vir
2 barmens.
Ja. Vir backups. Dan gaan bly so in die villages vir so 4-5 dae terwyl die ouens met bicycles gaan, dan gaan hulle vir ons petrol. En dan bly ons pas saam in die villages, gaan duik saam met die ouens.
Ja, lekker.
Vang vis, bly so die lewe.
Al die pad tot in Kaapstad.
Tot in Kaapstad, ja.
Jy het wêreldrekords ook met jetskis, né?
Ja. Ek en Adrian het vir ons 2 jetskis bestel in Alaska. En 2 rakke gemaak, vlieg op so toe by die rakke en die rakke op die jetskis. Dan gaan ons het nie, ek weet ons was nog nooit daar gewees, nie keer in die wêreld nie. Dis is van Alaska af tot in Panama. Dit is toe 'n world record, 17.500 kilos, 4,5 maande gevat. So Mexico, Guatemala, daar 'n bietjie gejaag deur die pirates, eintlik meer in Mexico. Jag hulle agter daar met die guns, die AK's en die goed. Maar hulle kon ons ek nie inhaal nie, maar ons kon ook nie vir hulle wegry nie. Toe gaan ons vlakwater toe want hulle ry sulke lang skips.
Ja.
En hulle is nie so stabiel in die vlakwater nie, toe ons hulle daar verloor. Coast Guard het ons kom soek op 'n stadium. Hulle het gedog ons is weg, maar toe is ons op die eilande gewees, 3-4 dae. En toe eventually toe ons by land uitkom, almal toe was ons op TV gewees en ander Suid-Afrikaanse jetskiers missing en ek weet
jy weet niks.
Ja, ek tel my vrou, ek meen eers maar ek kry 'n koue skouer daarso. Maar ek het vroeër gebel het, maar ek het nie geweet ons is weg nie, weet jy. Ja, toe Adrian, hy het gaan duik in Mozambique, toe hy afgegaan en nooit weer opgekom nie. Toe het ek die solo rekord gaan doen, vir 6 jaar terug, van Arctic Circle in Noorwe tot in onder in Spanje. Dit is nou korter gewees, 7.500 kilos, maar dis solo, ja. Maar dit was nogal taaf geweest, jy weet, want nou met die ander kom ek in, omdat ek self van petrol soek en jy weet, die volgende dag beplan en kos kry en slaapplek het ek nooit tyd gehad om so kyk. Ek het maar altyd saam met die boemelaars gaan slaap tot die kops in die aarde met hulle curries, met hulle battens, jaag ons uit, my die ander boemelaars, my pelle. Kyk, ek moet weer 'n nuwe challenge kry. Ek het nou klaar gejetski, so adventure bike dink ek is nou die volgende nuwe adventure, ja, nee verseker.
Lekker.
Ja, dit sien uit.
Back out on the trail, we head over the steep series of hills towards the nearest gravel track on our maps.
Hoekom klop my hart in my keel? My hart klop. Ja, myne sal ook daar rond is.
'n bietjie van 'n drop-off hierso net voor die water, hy moet wydspeen oor hom ry. Hy moet net wydspeen oor hom. Jakom! Jakom! Jakom!
Yeah, my doctor. Everything is alright. Okay. Hey, hey.
Back on the challenging gravel roads of the countryside, we decide to pick up the pace.
Lekker.
Ja man.
Nice.
Lekker toe.
Ek het nou ongeloos hoe lekker gery.
Is het lekker?
Ek is nog steeds.
Ah, nee. Wat en wat? Ah, serieus. Ah.
Moet jy 'n sweetie? Nog eens. Dit is opgeval.
Dink jy ek lyk jou van een sweetie?
Yo, what and what? Ah, picnic time. Once again, Africa Twin to the rescue.
Kyk hom daar raak op.
Yes,
Wat in Deermans?
Bier, jy nie bier gebruik.
Wow.
Lekker kom van hierdie kant af met daai spanner.
Is julle okay ouens?
Wat wil julle? Wil
Is julle alright?
Leer baie.
Okay.
Alright.
Wat dan? Dit is 'n bietjie.
Is daar
was iets in gewees. Ja, dat 'n bietjie water gooi.
Of nie? Nou gooi jy dit stadiger.
Gaan jy jou bek hou? Jy.
Hæ?
Jy, gaan jy jou bek hou?
In oormaat. Hou nie my bek nie. Jy ken oormaat.
Jy jou bek hou.
Ek praat, jy werk. Dis hoe dit werk. Eerlikwaar. Pins and needles in my feet. Stuff changing attire.
Wat van my spanners gaan jy nou?
Hoor jy ons is nog nie klaar nie. Okay, so jy net bietjie ontspan.
So much for calming down. When we eventually get back on track, the team kicks into a higher gear and we speed through the marvelous Eswatini countryside. Dropping out of the forest plantations down into the valleys with the villages and rivers, we sidestep the dried out red clay ruts. And I thank my lucky stars that we're not attempting this in the wet season. Time to support the local vendors.
Hello, how are you? Nice, I'm just checking. How much your green apples? R3 each.
Yes.
Can I get 2 apples, please?
Alright.
But I only have 20 rand. Do you have change? Let's make it 10. If you give me a 10, we have a deal. You. Thank you, madam. But this is not ranch. No, I'm just joking. Thank you. Apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Ja, so wat kan ek net eers 'n bier drink?
Check it in. What's in it?
Ja, het 'n moer lang. Lyk jy gerek is.
What is that? Mapoyisa takbop.
Just a few kilometers down the road, we cross the wall of the breathtaking Maguga Dam. Its 115-meter-high dam wall makes it the biggest reservoir in the country, covering more than 1,000 hectares. The dam provides water to agriculture and industry in the area, and drinking water to the nearby town of Pigs Peak, and also serves as a source of hydroelectric power. Perched against the hillside, the Maguga Lodge, with its comfortable chalets, restaurant and bar, will be our base of operations for the next 2 nights. From here, we will ride a forest loop tomorrow. But this afternoon, we'll just enjoy the amazing view. The evening is capped off with a lekker debrief, finds meeting and a braai at the poolside.
Hy breakfast van vanmôre 8:30 het my gehou.
Ja, maar ek kan nie so goed doen. Ek het opgeneem.
Nee, 'n breakfast hou ons net vir 'n halfuur na.
Join us again for our next episode when we head to the forests. Things don't go as planned, and a mechanical issue forces someone to abandon the ride. This episode was made possible by Leatt, Insta360, and Kameraz.